Happy New Year. It is 2025 and I am so excited because a new year means all new travel adventures. It also means all new creative projects that I'm going to be starting, embroidery, crocheting, felting, all sorts of different fabric arts that I'm going to be sharing as we travel around the world and I learn more and more about different techniques and different kind of crafting and arts processes from different cultures. I'm so excited to share everything this year with you. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe so that you don't miss out on new videos when they're released. Even though it's the new year, I am so behind in editing and getting our videos up still from last year. So today I'm going to be talking about our time that we spent in Austria. And we actually stopped in there because it was a stopover on our flight from one country to the next. And sometimes when we do have a stopover, that should just be like an hour or two at the airport. If it's somewhere that we really want to see, then we actually end up spending a long weekend there, or kind of, 4 or 5 days. So Austria was one of those places we couldn't just touch down in the plane and take right back off. We had to check it out. Once we landed in Austria and got to our Airbnb, we didn't waste any time going out to explore the city because we were in actually Vienna. So Vienna is one of those places that has so many things to see and do that you don't want to waste any time. So the first place that we headed to was St. Stephen's Cathedral, and this is such a beautiful piece of architecture. The multicolored tiled roof is kind of one of the most iconic places in Vienna, and it's something that you see on all the postcards, and if you ever see photos of Vienna, you're probably going to see this cathedral. So we kind of popped out of a side street and suddenly came upon the cathedral, and it was just kind of awe-inspiring, the size of it, the beauty of it. But what made it even better is that there was just this long line of horse and carriages that are lined up there waiting to take tourists around the city. But it really does kind of add to the fairy tale like ambiance of that entire area of the city. So after spending some time kind of marveling at this area of the city and the cathedral and the horses and carriages, we made our way through into more of the city, and I love to just kind of get lost. James is really a map kind of a guy. He likes to figure out everywhere we're going, and as he says, I kind of meander and find my way. And I was just kind of going down some of these streets and leading him, and we came across this intersection, and of course I was completely drawn in because it was obviously the luxury part of town. So I was looking in all the store windows at Chanel and Dior and Cartier, and all of the big name brands were there. And as we're walking kind of around the corner, something else caught my eye, which in Vienna happens all the time apparently. Now that I know, there are beautiful buildings and architecture around every corner. So this building was the Hofburg Palace that suddenly became in front of us. And again, that kind of drew us in. So we started walking down that road towards there. And on the right side, something else caught my attention. And this was a place called Demel. So I have my notes about this shop because I want to make sure I have all the information right, because it was just so beautiful. So Demel is a pastry and chocolate shop, and it was established in 1786, and it still to this day bears the title of a purveyor to the imperial and royal court. So pretty impressive. They also created the original Sacher torte, and I hope I'm saying that right. I might not be. If I'm not, please put in the comments how to actually say it. But so this is a type of cake, a torte, and it's still enjoyed to this day by lots of locals and tourists. Of course, I couldn't indulge in it because it's not gluten-free, but I did take great enjoyment in walking through the entire shop and looking at all the different chocolates and cakes that everyone else could enjoy. And the smell in there, oh my gosh, it was like pastry and chocolate heaven. I can't even explain how delicious it was, but if they could box that smell and sell it, I'm sure they probably already are millionaires, but even more rich. So after touring a little bit more around that area, we hopped on the streetcar, which was kind of a fun ride through the city. Our next stop was to a bagel shop. And some of you might be wondering, why are you getting bagels when you're in Vienna? But what a lot of people don't know is that the bagel was actually invented in Vienna. And it was invented in the 17th century. And again, I have my notes so that I make sure I get all of this information correct. So it was actually made as a tribute to the King of Poland for protecting the country from Turkish invaders. So kind of a neat little interesting fact, and I didn't know the bagel was invented there, but it sure was delicious, and I was so excited that I was able to have one with the gluten-free option that they had. So to work off our bagels, we strolled around more of the city, and it was starting to get dark. And if any of you have ever been to Europe, you know that there is just something about European cities in the evening. I can't explain it. It's the way that they're lit. It's the energy of the city. There is just nothing like it. I love going out in the evening in a good European city. So after a while, it was time to eat again. It seems like on our travels, we eat so much. Eating is like our favorite pastime. And I guess it's because everywhere you go, they all have these, their specialties that they excel in, or they have restaurants that they're known for. So we want to try everything. We are foodies. So for this evening, we had seen a place on another YouTube video, and sorry, I had to stop the video because a really loud airplane just flew over. Anyway, we had seen this place on another YouTube video, and it wasn't a restaurant. It was like, I guess, street food, you'd call it. It was a little kiosk on the side of the street, which usually you would think, no, I want to go to a nice restaurant. But this place, well, when we walked up to it, there was a huge line. So we knew right away we were at the right place, and that this place is really well known with the locals. So this place they are known for their classic sausages. They are also known for their steak tartare. And this is something I've never tried before. And I figured, you know what? Let's give it a try. No better place than somewhere that all of these locals are lined up for. So they must know that it's good. So we ordered the steak tartare, truffle fries, James had calamari, we had a couple of the sausages, they even served spritzers, so I had a wine spritzer, which was really nice, and you get all of this food and you just kind of eat it. They have like these little stands, or there's a counter at the side of their kiosk, which is where we ate, and it's kind of a fun little way to eat dinner. And I never thought I'd be eating beef tartare on the side of the road at a kiosk in Vienna, but I have to say, it was delicious. It was absolutely out of this world. The flavors, so it's actually, it was a filet mignon that they chop up into small little pieces, and it's mixed with kind of a creamy Dijon type of dressing and all sorts of herbs mixed in. It's something I didn't think I'd like, but I ended up eating half of it with James. The next morning, guess what? Time to eat again. So you can't go to Vienna without having Viennese pastries. So we found a pastry shop that had both gluten-free and regular pastries, and had a couple. They were fantastic, did not disappoint. I really like pastries in European cities compared to back in North America, because I find they're not as sweet. Sometimes when we're back at home, I eat like half a pastry and you almost feel sick because it's so super sweet. But in Europe, they seem to know how to do it right. So after our sweet treats, it was time to head off to an event that we were excited to go to. And this event is called Wiener Wiesn. And again, I might be totally pronouncing that wrong, but it's also known as Vienna Meadow in English. And what this is, it is their version of Oktoberfest. So this is actually the largest festival of folk tradition, and it is quite an event. It's something to be there, definitely. That when you walk in, there's kind of a whole fairgrounds of booths selling food, there's music playing, there's people selling clothing, there's all sorts of different booths providing all sorts of different things. And then there's large tents set up, and inside of these large tents is where all of the music is happening, and where you buy your giant jugs of beer and kind of have fun and party and dance. And it was definitely something to see and something to experience. Spending some time at their version of Oktoberfest, we headed back home, but we stopped off because I was thirsty. I can't drink the beer at Oktoberfest, so we stopped off just to get myself a soft drink. And I had heard about this kind of, it's like a carbonated drink. It's non-alcoholic, but it's what's known as the national drink of Austria. So I had to try it, and it's, like I said, it's a carbonated drink, and it's full of different herbs. So it's different. I didn't not like it, but I don't know that I would drink it every day. But again, it's always kind of neat to try the different foods and beverages that are from each country that you go to. So the end of this day, again, time to eat. I feel like all we did in Austria was eat, but it was definitely worth it because we had such good food. So for dinner this evening, we wanted to find traditional Wiener Schnitzel. Again, in Austria, you have to have Wiener Schnitzel, but it's always a little bit of a problem with me because we got to find the gluten-free. But James was able to find a restaurant that did offer a gluten-free version, and it was really, really good. They even had gluten-free beer for me, so I could have traditional beer with the traditional type of food. And it was really good. The restaurant was full of people. It was a great atmosphere. We got to talking to a British couple beside us about all of the different foods they were ordering as well. So a really fun night out for our last evening in Vienna. So like I said, this was just a quick stop in Austria, but we definitely made every moment count with tons of food. I'm sure we gained another 5 pounds while we were there with all of the goodies and treats that we tried, but it was well worth it. The food there was absolutely fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed my little tales of our time in Austria. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, do please subscribe. It'll let you know every time I have a new video that comes out, so you won't miss anything. And the next videos that I'll be releasing are about our time in Romania, which I loved. It's funny because I knew nothing about Romania, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it there. So watch out for the videos about that. I'm gonna try and do these more quickly so that I can get caught up and tell you about all the places that we're experiencing here now in the beginning of 2025. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you soon.